WBC News live from Hotel Bradford. No progress, say police insiders of the police week. No comment for the 7th straight day.
It's November 1931 in the good part of town, Newbury Street. In mid-November, crisp Thursday, around noon, people are moving from place to place. Deliveries. The frequent call of paper boys hawking newspapers on street corners. Police baffled. A week after the mob massacre. This is all Boston wants to talk about. Nobody's talking about the transformation of the docks. No one is talking about the drying up of speakeasies. Nobody's talking about political and social agitation on street corners. No one's talking about the drop in unemployment. Nobody's talking about murders. From newspaper reporters being sent to find out about the activities of socialites, private detectives hired to find missing, stolen items. Common, kind-hearted shopkeepers roused from their beds in the middle of the night to answer questions. To aging, dying gangsters denied the peace of a gentle retirement. To agents of the Prohibition Bureau, sent on a quest that may be a fool's errand. Because if you ask anyone on the street, the last thing they ever wanted to do was stop drinking. But this morning, at the Treasury Bureau, the day after a huge break in a gun smuggling case, one of the agents failed to come in for duty. Signed out yesterday, stating he was going to track down some leads on Newbury Street. Unlike him, very unlike Tyler Prince, the military-trained, self-disciplined agent of the Prohibition, he did not report for duty, nor file a report of his findings. So it is that Bill Rainier has asked Agent Alex Thornton to go to Newbury Street, to Small's Antiques.
Bill, can you tell me anything about why Tyler was down in this area?
Your filing cabinets, Alex. Like we don't have enough files. Do you know how many filing cabinets that Washburn sent over here?
I look at Bill's desk. I say it's a bit of a small competition, Bill.
So he went through, and per your report and Washburn's report, he really wanted to compile a list of witness statements from that reporter who called and a Mr. Alfred Smalls and someone named Callum McGinnis, a photographer of note. He's done some of our crime scene reports.
Yeah, I remember the name.
So yeah, he went over to collect their statements about, you know, who might have been there. He made some mention of wanting to track down the O'Riordan brothers.
Now fill me in there, Bill. That's a new one for me. The O'Riordans?
Yeah. The O'Shaughnessy's. They got a whole band of brothers. They've got bands of brothers. There's Malones, the seemingly unlimited supply of O'Shaughnessy's, and the O'Riordans. The O'Riordans are a funny one. They're either in the mob or they're in the church.
Sounds like a dangerous combination.
Don't I know it? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Did these O'Riordans, did they have any connection with our gun runner?
Well, I think your gun runner was suffered to survive by, you know, the beneficence of the O'Shaughnessy's.
Yeah. Art and Vic, though, they don't sound like they're going to come out on top. They're pretty much done. Malone came through, picked up the bodies. But yeah, this thing with Tyler, though, what do we know about this area? This isn't a, it sounds like too upscale of a place for some mob activity. Should I be expecting an issue or a problem other than the fact that Tyler's disappeared? I mean, I'm going to be going in armed.
Of course you will. I don't know what to tell you, Alex. But
all right.
Last I heard from him is he was going to Small's Antiques.
Okay.
1234 Newbury Street.
I'm going to go ahead and head out. I just wanted to remind you too, though, kind of looking over at the calendar. It's Thursday, right? You know, kind of running my fingers along it. I just want to remind you, and I know this is not the most opportune thing about it, but I do have a date with family tomorrow. I just want to make you aware I'll probably be in late tomorrow morning.
So you have a state-paid vacation all weekend long?
No, Bill, come on. You know that I know you're joking with me, Bill, but you know that I and my father haven't talked in about 6 months since our brother's death. So this is just a personal thing. I'll try and make it as quick as possible and be back on the job. I am checking in, and I kind of smile at Bill. All right. Don't forget, I know we made an agreement. When I get down to Small's place, I'll give you a call to let you know I've arrived.
All right.
Pack up the Gladstone, you know, load up. I'm going to leave a large section of the file collection that I've been toting with me here at the office, but I am going to take file sections that refer to the books, Gavigan, and the newspaper articles about the theft, anything that can seemingly be related to this antique shop and this person who might be able to give me some insight in it. Because at this point, my investigation in connection with Xavier and investigating them on the prohibition front, the vices front, is pretty much drying up, literally. And so now I'm going to have to try and find other angles to get justice for Steve. After I collect myself, make sure I'm in good shape, hands are still bandaged, I tip my hat to Bill and say, with any luck, Bill, I'll see you soon. And I head out the door.
I hope so. Maybe we can get lunch when you get back.
At the uncle's, okay? I know last time
Yeah.
wasn't very fun when we were there, but they could definitely use the business after the last disruption.
I know. But to date,
And I poke my head in back real fast and say, Bill, of course it's going to be on me, so don't worry about it, okay?
You're a saint. I get to work.
I'm on it, boss. Head downstairs and get in the car.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. A picture can lie just as easily as a man does. Easier. A picture doesn't have to worry about getting caught. Put that way, a lying picture is no different than some wannabe lord rolling in green atop the hill, thinking the truth is optional, and that any of us regular folk could ever be satisfied with trying to scrape an honest day's work for an honest wage out of crooked companies run by disingenuous servants of mammon. It's enough to make you sick. If the starvation, flu, rot gut, syphilis, or gunfire doesn't get you first. It used to be that you could trust your preacher to tell you what you needed to hear, your tailor to keep you looking respectable, your banker to keep himself well paid on your dime, and the ground to feed you to the worms when your time came. I never thought I would live to see the day when I would lose trust in all of them, especially the cemetery. You don't believe me? I don't blame you. But stay in at night if you know what's good for you. Not everyone out after the sun sets still draws breath, and there are more and more empty rooms every day. Count your neighbors, then try to call me a liar. The churches are empty, the streets are full. The sermons come from soapboxes on sidewalks and in untended parks decorated with undocumented murder sites the police will get around to after they investigate their envelopes full of mobster greenbacks and finding them wanting. You'll believe me when it's your neighbor, your spouse, your child. When I see that look in your eye, you still won't do anything. Coward. You'll wait for someone to save you. Now, here's the thing though, bub. The only savior coming for you is the same ugly surprise that's evaporating everyone else. And the only salvation it brings is a fitting for a pine box you won't even get to keep. So what can we do if help isn't coming and the cavalry is having tea and crumpets on the other side of the hill instead of riding to our rescue? Same as always. Deal with it ourselves. Get busy. Get friends. Swords don't beat themselves out of plowshares. We the people, in order to form a more perfect future, have to nail the dead back in their boxes, remind those with silver spoons what Madame Guillotine sounds like when she's breathing down your neck, and make it very unsafe to be a dishonest man in this town. Remember always that the sons and daughters of Boston have crossed oceans, defied kings, and pushed back the very sea to make this a safe haven from all that ails us in the world. And we can do it again.
Trip across town as we're moving toward noon. There's one demonstration just finishing up. People are getting into trucks. Some singing of work-related motivational hymns. But there's not too much traffic, and it's not hard to find the shop. Going past the Commons and out onto Newbury Street. The shop is quaint.
Pull up,
Nice.
take a look through the windows from the car. While I'm sitting in the car, check the gear. 32 in the ankle holster, 45 in the armpit. Extra magazine just in case. Take a deep breath, look over at the empty seat, grab the Gladstone out of the footwell, make my way to the door. I am gonna, when I open the door, anticipating that there's gonna be a bell there, I am gonna make it so that they know someone is at the front door. I'm not gonna come in sneaking.
So the Gladstone in hand. The blinds, there are blinds for the shop. They're down. The open sign is still showing. So, large window, and then more of a normal residence door.
The vestibule style approach.
Yeah, shape of the building. Maybe there's stairs up to the second floor behind this door. But this is the entrance. Over there, some kind of artist studio, and toward the corner is just a residential building. Behind you, across the street, is a restaurant. Signboard. Yeah. So, pushing on the door, it's a doorknob.
I mean, I'm just gonna grab and go in like I'm a customer.
Okay. From inside the shop,
God, well, this, shoot it, for Christ's sake. And
Now you've done it.
and the bell jangles.
The right hand goes to the armpit if I'm hearing shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. If I'm hearing screaming from inside already, Gladstone hits the floor. My left hand's dropping down. 45 coming out from underneath my armpit. Scanning the scene.
Okay. As the door opens, supposition was correct. There's a space and then stairs headed up. To the left, opens up into a crowded space of antiques. And this is where things get even stranger. There is a huge man. Jimmy Calloway is here. Someone else. And this particular moment is too much even for you, Agent Thornton, because standing next to Tyler Prince is you. Looking back at you.
Steely-eyed, I stare directly at myself and say, "You." And the gun points straight at myself.
And behind you and Prince is a small wall safe. And from the depths of that wall safe, extend a grayish, blue, pus-dripping tendril or tongue, probing around the lip of the safe. Shimmering heat distortion around it. The shop is filled with the sound like a hound, sniffling, snuffling, and a scratching sound like something wants in from the outside. And that, Agent Thornton, is too much to...
Jaw dropping, seeing the shimmering air form around the safe, the squirming sensation of this appendage coming from the wall. Even my eyes begin to glaze. I feel dizzy. The intensity of the situation, seeing myself next to Tyler, the treacherous bastard. I begin to break.
Jimmy Calloway, 1 point of sanity. And the silent Alex Thornton, please remove 2 points of sanity. Alfred Smalls, 11.
Yikes. 11. Alrighty then.
MacSweeney, 2. And Agent Thornton, 7.
So I should probably make an intelligence roll.
Yes. You should.
Okay. Oh, yes. I made my intelligence roll 23 off of 90. So Smalls, this is etched in his brain, and he is grappling with all of the impossible nuance that this scene implies. So,
Yes.
he may have gone indefinitely insane. My math is not the best, but yeah, I'm down. I had started after 11 points. I was at like 51, and I'm down to 39 now. So 50 down to. So I'm not sure if that's what happens there, but it was quite a blow to his
Quite a blow, and
Yeah.
we'll deal with more permanent effects later. But for right now, you fully comprehend the nature of what is happening here and what it means. Everyone hit by a loss of 5 or more will be carrying some traumatic effect from this moment on with them. Those below are simply gripped in the natural terror of such an impossible event. And you are, as always, free to react as you think you should. Something from the outside wants in.
And look again at Calloway and Prince and anybody with a gun. Or shoot it, for Christ's sakes! And I'm fishing around for the pea shooter that I have. Pull out this small, ineffectual little gun, shaking at this squirming tongue. I'm not even pulling the trigger. I'm just pointing it at it, looking at these other fellows like, for God's sakes. There's that imploring look, like, you know what you're doing. Shoot the goddamn thing. And I'm slowly backing away from from their safe on their head.
I open fire on myself.
Oh. All right.
I am standing next to Tyler at the safe, right?
Right. Tyler
think
has his
trying to-
arms around you.
He has his arms around me?
Yeah.
As in a grappling like maneuver?
More like
They
consoling.
Oh no. That's the loss of self-identity in seeing my doppelganger, hearing shoot it. It is the first thing that I'm thinking of. This appendage coming out from the wall has caused me too much strain not to be able to deal with seeing myself reflected this way.
All right. Eddie?
So describe.
Tyler, door opens.
Yep. We all look. We see the gun come out, but at the same time, we see this appendage come out. So that is right behind me, or where is the safe in relation to me? And then where is Thornton?
The back of the shop to your right side.
Okay. All right.
The stairs are behind a wall, behind your back. Front door to your left.
Okay. And then Thornton is where?
And Thornton is in the doorway to the shop.
Right. Okay.
Guns out.
All right. So basically, seeing the gun come up, he's going to try and duck under the table. He doesn't have any sort of weapon. You kind of see his hand reflexively go toward what would be a shoulder holster. And I don't think he realizes who Thornton's aiming at. He's just trying to get out of the way, because if he's going to shoot this thing, there's a chance that he might get hit.
Many of you are in the path of, yes.
Right. So he's just going to drop and sort of roll under the table.
Okay. Now, there are lots of objects in this room, right? Armoires, bookcases, stacks of books, china, crystal, sofas, chairs, this kind of stuff.
Chinese food.
Except for this one void off to the side, big enough for a large piece of furniture. It's no longer there. All right. Eddie, I'd like a dodge from you. That's going to take place first.
Okay.
And then Alex's shots.
All right. Bad news for Eddie. It's a 59 on a 48.
Okay.
That's a 22. So as the gun reaches firing level, I'm kneeling down, reaching towards my left ankle. And as the finger squeezes the trigger, I say, Tyler, get away from that thing. And the shot goes off. That is 9 points.
Okay. So Tyler's attention is drawn to, from his perspective, another Alex. And he goes, wait! Now he's pushed to the side by Eddie trying to duck under the table. And the shot rips in to Eddie. The pain is indescribable. But nothing has stopped the progress of the pus-dripping appendage as it extends deeper into the room. 3 feet? Is it 4 feet? It almost reach Smalls from here. and the pus steams as it hits the ground. MacSweeney, gun out.
Oh, Christ. Forget it. I'm going to try to tackle, push Smalls out of the way.
Okay.
So I go from backing up with a gun, imploring as the real shoot it, just like, oh, God. And just run up and push him out of the way.
Because of all the obstacles in your way, let's make this dexterity times 5. We can't describe Smalls as a resisting target at this moment in time, wrapped in wonder and amazement.
No, but there are a tremendous amount of objects in my way. And I am not making it to Smalls without stumbling and pushing over and just, yeah, it's not working out.
Calloway.
Having the book in my right hand and my gun in my left hand, I make for the door. As soon as I see Alex Thornton coming in, starting to shoot at this point, I milk it through him, through the door, out of there.
All right, let's see. Pushing Alex Thornton to the side. Grapple.
I'm full of stuff in my hand. There's a lot of people in the way. I try to stumble and I come toward him. I don't have a lot of momentum. So I just bump into him and it, right after he shuts over my shoulder.
Right. Something in the back of the shop crashes. Shattering glass. Something in the front of the shop from MacSweeney's passage or Calloway's passage topples over and smashes on the floor. That snuffling smell is louder. And is it in your ears or is it in your mind? Right? That scratching sound. Are you hearing it? Are you feeling it in the fabric of your flesh? The temperature is dropping. Blue flaming tendrils of ice or fire are spreading their way up the wall, across the wall, down to the floor, behind the counter where you cannot see them. And this tongue is still extending toward Smalls. Smalls. This tongue is extending toward you from across time and space. You can see the form of the hound extending back through this rent in the fabric of this world, this gate, this piercing of the veil, as Prynne would describe it. Extending back in time, back when the world was new, back before life even surfaced on its shores. And your gaze is following it back and back through time as the hound is following, heading forward, seeking life.
All right. With his fractured sanity and all of the things breaking, Smalls will declare, "No dogs allowed in the shop." And he will rush forward as if to shut the safe, because following his vision, he can see this, what his mind is translating into a hound. And it's all he can think to do is to say, "No dogs allowed in the store. I'm sorry, no dogs allowed in the shop." And he will rush forward, somewhat heedless of the danger that he's putting himself in, and he will literally try to slam the safe on the blue tongue of Ichor. Perhaps it will Perhaps it will disrupt it. Perhaps it's disaster, but that's in his broken brained state. That's what he's going to do or attempt to do.
Right. Now the tongue is probing almost blindly. It can smell you, but it cannot see you. Its motions in your space and your time are almost random. It will be purest luck if you can close this door.
Okay.
Without being burned yourself.
Here goes everything. I have a luck score of 60. 73.
As you slam the door, the tongue wraps around your arm. The ichor burning, searing, freezing. But ultimately dissipating before it can take hold as the safe slams shut. The sense of it is gone. Removes 3 hit points. Eddie, you feel cold. You're on the floor. It's not the first time you've been shot. Might be the worst time you've been shot.
So yeah, Eddie is kind of crumpled half under the table, and he's getting the same sensation from a week ago. He remembers the cold coming, and he thinks the red is coming next, and the screaming and the tearing of flesh. But even through all that, he manages to kind of groan out to his doppelganger, or rather to the actual Alex Thornton. Where did you learn to shoot? Shoot the thing. And then he just kind of goes catatonic, because that's how he survived it last time, under that bookcase. And he's starts saying the rosary.
Tyler's kneeling over the fallen Alex Thornton. Jimmy Calloway, you are face to face with a kneeling Alex Thornton. There are 2 Alex Thorntons.
Where do you think you're going, Calloway?
Get out of my way, or if you don't want any problem. If you don't want any problem, get out of my way, Thornton.
This is treasury business now.
Deal with the other Alex Thornton right there, because that's the real Alex Thornton, all right. And I'm out of here. Get out of my way. And I point my gun toward your head or forehead as I hold to the book under my arm, and I crack you with my knee on your chest.
Seeing the book in his arms. You know, I can't do this. I keep reaching for the gun in my ankle holster as
I shoot him.
the 45 is coming towards Calloway.
No, I shoot him first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, to have everything above board, the faster character gets to act first. And that is determined by your dexterity. I don't want anybody to be just surprised. So, Calloway's dexterity is
8.
Oh,
and
9.
okay. So, the intention, right, is visible to Thornton. And so there's the window is open to try to find cover, especially where you're sitting, like going behind the wall or
Kind of backwards into the outer vestibule area. That's where I'm going to retreat
opportunity
to.
is there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is a dodge. This is not dodging bullets.
55, easily kind of like crab step back and out into the angled vestibule section, rolling my back around the door jamb. Left hand now on the butt of the 38 in my ankle holster. 45 is up and pointed towards the doorway from my crouching position. And I'm going to yell, if you come out, Calloway, you're going to take one in the side or the back. Your choice.
Now, you're both so close to each other that if you shoot, your chance to hit will be doubled.
I shoot the large window in the front that gives to the street, and I jump out on the street.
There are bars. In the window.
I think I run out. I run out still.
Okay.
I run out still. Right in the vestibule, right in his face. I have something face. And I shoot him. As soon as I see him, I shoot him.
All right. So he's backed out of the way, charge out of the vestibule, and shoots. Calloway, open fire.
I already have my gun in there, so I get in the vestibule as soon as I see him, I shoot. And I shoot right at him, right in his chest, right in his face. Perfect shot, right there.
Okay.
As soon as I see him, boom.
Do you hit?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Damage.
6.
Damn it, Calloway.
And there have now been numerous gunshots with some pace in between. So Calloway, now you gotta, pull the door open. That stupid bell jangles.
And I get out of there and I run. And I
Hang on. As soon as you get the door open across the street, you can see the doors opening of your car. And the very white face of Malcolm looking across the street through traffic. And 2 guys going for the trunk.
I run toward the car and I say, "Cover me! Cover me!" And I run toward the passenger door that's already open.
Are you going to cut across traffic or are you going to use the crosswalk? Horses, cars, just going to run?
Oh, I run across the traffic. I run all the way there. Oh, no crosswalk. No.
All right. So, as the door is slowly swinging shut, Alex, you've been shot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hurting.
Life draining away. The room is echoing with gunfire. Eddie or Alex on the floor. Alex on the floor. MacSweeney stuck in chair legs and furniture parts in a sea of shattered china. Smalls, acid ichor dripping from forearm. And Jim Calloway rushing across the street outside.
Smalls, you stupid son of a bitch! I was trying to push you out of the way. Look over at Prince, like, I say, call an ambulance or something for both of them.
Prince has unloaded the 45s. Don't let them go anywhere, he says, and he goes to the door. He just says, Alex. Goes to the door. Calloway, as you're hoofing it across the street, Constitution.
I am sweating, puffing and puffing. My head is turning. And as I go across the street, going across the street, but maybe right around the middle of the street, I slide down, holding the book and the gun, and I put one knee on the ground, and I put one hand, the end holding the gun, to kind of hold my weight as I stumble, on my knees, right in the middle of the street.
Cars are slamming to a stop, horns honking, a horse rearing up. One of the other gangsters rushing from the car,
I yell, Malcolm! Give me a
gun in hand. Get up. No, he's paying attention to the shop. He's holding his hand out to pull you up to your feet, right? Another gangster is stepping out into the street, Tommy gun, stopping traffic.
I yell, shoot! Those windows! Shoot at the windows!
This is all coming up through coughing. Prince comes through the door, 245s in hand, registers the scene, starts opening up. Bang, 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 bang. And Thompson returns fire. Okay. One moment, please. As MacSweeney is berating Smalls, as Smalls is reeling from pain, right? As both Alexes are dealing with their shock and pain, the front window dissolves in heavy 45 caliber fire, filling the shop with lead, slamming through the doorway over Alex's head in the stairway. Tyler blasting away with both 45s. The gangster helping you to your feet, Jimmy, goes down. Shot through the head.
I head toward the door, passenger seat.
Malcolm's trying to get it into gear. The guy with the Tommy gun behind the car, right, continuing to fire.
Get in the fucking car!
Hey. Horse screams. The carriage it's pulling the driver goes down as the horse bolted across the line of fire. Tyler moving to his side, continuing to fire, hitting the gunman, taking him down. Malcolm makes his decision. The car rips off, pulling out into the chaos. Stop, start, off to the left, right, harsh turn. And then an open space. Make a hard right around the corner. Two gangsters still, possibly dead.
Where I failed once before. I'm trying to tackle Smalls one more time. Get down, you son of a bitch! One careful again as the bullets are flying through the shop and there's glass is spraying everywhere. I'm trying to untangle myself from the chair legs and everything else that I've tripped over before. In an attempt to knock him over. And I'm just getting wrapped up in the next piece of flotsam and jetsam and vases and books and everything else that's been knocked over in the shop. So I'm just, swimming around the detritus of this shop.
The acid on the floor is evaporating up in blue clouds of mist that disappear before reaching the ceiling. Bullets stop, but the chaos outside doesn't. People are screaming. People are crying in pain. Crashing cars, honking horns.
I look up at Tyler and say, you know, as blood is coming into my mouth and I can taste the copperiness of my wound, get me in the shop. Get me in the shop now. Because I as all I can say through gritted teeth.
So he kicks the door back open. Both guns, puts them away. Yells out, "Call the police!"
I stand up. I go towards the phone. I call the operator. I call for an ambulance first.
Operator, how can I place your call?
Okay.
Operator, yeah, I need about 10 ambulances there. And the cops. 224 Newbury Street.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's the nature of the what's going on there?
Gunshots. Gunshots. I think it's like a mob hit or something. A lot of gunshots. I got at least a couple guys right here with me that are hit.
Newbury Street, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay on the line, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Tyler has ripped off his tie and is pressing it hard into the wound. He says, "I need tablecloths. I need hot water. Come on." But is there anyone who can answer him? Eddie, in similar condition, bleeding out on the floor under the table. MacSweeney hollering into the phone. Smalls.
Smalls, I am not sure, be too stunned to respond. So I'm wondering if there is some way to use the dice to determine whether or not he is present to attend to these injured people in his shop, or if he's still got that 1,000 light year stare into another place.
That's the thing. There are connections to all things. And this was maybe the greatest revelation of Ludwig Prim, who in his book, which you know inside and out so well, a book that has been torn from you. Prim's quest, his fear of death, his fear of the eventual weakening and dissipation of his body, led him to study the body, study medicine. You know this to be true, that in that book are the very secrets that could end the misery of humanity, end disease, end death. The book is gone, but we remain connected together by one continuous thread.
Yeah. All right. He's Smalls is desperately wishing that he had had just a little more time with the book, because there were some marvelous instructions in there on how to heal our temporal forms, but he had not the time to learn them. However, time is the thing, right? If he had had the time to learn the other things that the book taught, he might be able to heal up his compadres, these crazy, chaotic people that have made a mess of his shop. However, he might be able to work with MacSweeney, perhaps if he can find the right fissure in the real makeup of things. He might be able to take us back just a little bit before all of this chaos, back to a nice orderly shop, back to a nice orderly whole bodies, not rent flesh and broken bones and severed arteries and all of this messy business. So if he can find the right little fissure in reality, he might be able to take us all back there. And then we can maybe try this again, maybe with the awareness that we have now, so that when Calloway shows up the next time, we're ready and things might go a different way.
If only you weren't so exhausted.
Indeed. Indeed. However, there are some marvelous batteries lying around the floor here. Some of them bleeding out. But if he's able to, if he can use their life energy to power the endeavor, that might be the ticket. You know, if he can just use them to sort of be the gas, and he's just sort of putting his barest sort of touch on the tiller of the rudder, you know, to get us to the place. But they're the engine. They're the batteries. They're the engine. And he can be the navigator. He can be the pilot taking us to the right fissure. It might work. It might not.
Distantly from the front of the shop, you can hear that Agent Prince fellow screaming again, a note of desperation in his voice. Says, "Please, anything, towels!"
Staring up at Prince.
He can't press, and take his coat off at the same time. He's trying to get the coat off. It's caught in his gun butt. He knows what to do. He doesn't have the tools.
Damn it. I drop the phone and I go looking for just something, taking tablecloths right off.
There's like
little
tasseled
things
tablecloths on little end tables, things like that.
I'm taking all that stuff to the fancy linen, whatever Small's got around there. I'm bringing them over to.
Smalls has an ample sweater kind of, behind the desk, the counter for cold afternoons, so he'll pull that out. So, Terrence, there may be a way to fix all this.
Love of God, Smalls. Here, just help me out. And I throw some stuff over at Prince for Thornton, and then I'm checking out Eddie. Grab something else to see how bad Eddie looks.
If we can travel back, we can fix this.
What? And can we take care of the dying people first?
That's what I want to do. I think I can make it so that they're not dying. But I need your energy. I need all of their energy. We can just find the right doorway.
MacSweeney, first aid.
Talking nonsense there, Smalls. Yeah.
It's all very sensible.
And the problem is, I'm really good at using the library, but man, Jesus, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right, Eddie. And that's what I can say. Is
And Eddie, who's made
and
it.
it just it looks it. Well,
Yeah, Eddie's been shot in the back, like right around the kidney. He's probably got a kidney that's just gone.
I'm trying to.
Yeah,
We can
Make
make
a poker face.
Terrence, we can make this better. We can, if we just use the energy in the room. There's a lot of it. All this kineticism and blood and emotion. We can use the energy to travel back through the right crack the right fissure. Take us back. 20 minutes, 15 minutes, just enough time. Reset things. Make things better. Fix these bodies. Fix my shop. Make it so that we have a second chance at this.
Why are you going around the frickin' bend, Smalls? Go ahead, do whatever you're doing. Looking back at it.
There is so much pain in Eddie, in Alex, and the arguing of MacSweeney and Smalls is like glass be dug into the fractured receptors, nerves, grinding away. And then there's this smell in the shop, this horrible smell.
That's the residue of burnt time. That's the bleeding of the universe.
I think it's a damn tea you wouldn't drink. Wasn't that bad anyway. Andy, you're gonna be all right. We got
Anyway.
what's coming.
All right, Terrence. All right. And weirdly, he's pretty cognizant now. Yeah, the tentacle, the duplicate Thornton, the real Thornton, the cold, all that's kind of receding from his memory, and weirdly the gunfire is kind of bringing him back to himself, and he, grabs the handkerchief or whatever is in Terrence's hand. Let me do that. Quit jaw jacking and get something done.
What the hell to do, Eddie? But it ain't the first time you've been shot.
Doorbell. First tentative pedestrian is peeking their head in to see what's wrong. Some heads appearing in the shattered window frame, looking in and calling further down the street, "Here, officer, here!" And the call is being taken up.
Kind of, since I'm laying on the ground with Tyler over me, these people's faces kind of swimming in the background behind him, I'm looking at Tyler and I'm saying, what is that thing in the shop?
You answer my question first. First day we met, we had a conversation. Where was that conversation? What was it about?
My head swimming. We had set up this test for you guys, the two guys in the bullpen. You and I, we went out on a run. We were in the car. I asked you about where you went to college and what your leanings were. We talked about philosophy.
All right. So if you're the real Alex,
my eyes are going wide when he says real Alex. Don't tell me he's gotten to you too.
no, I know that's not the real Alex. But if there's one, why wouldn't there be more?
Is he holding your card? Are you a marked man?
What?
I actually, when he gives me that reaction, my face settles to a little bit of comfort. And I just say, at least he hasn't touched somebody yet.
Eddie calls over hearing this conversation. He's like, "Son of a bitch, what did you do to me? What did you do to me in that hospital? What was in that damn bag?"
Kind of my head rolling backwards a little bit. I can't see who's saying anything. And I just say, yeah. But the weapon's been destroyed.
And at that, Driscoll actually kind of like, Thornton's got his full attention. It's gone.
I hold up my right hand and I just squeeze my bandaged hands. Broken.
Eddie regained 4 points of sanity.
Right. I'm going to take your word for it.
I kind of still the taste of coppery blood in the back of my mouth. I kind of gargly chuckle.
I've been expecting to see you. I'm Driscoll. I'm Eddie Driscoll. I don't know how this happened. I haven't touched anybody. A hell of a lot of people and things been touching me.
Who the hell else is in this building? We got the cops on the way, I'm sure. And I kind of cough, blood in my mouth. Who else is here? Is Alfred Smalls here? Are you in there, Smalls?
Yes, this is Alfred Smalls.
Why was Calloway here? I look at Tyler and I say, you just dragged me in the shop. We got to get out from the public. And I'm looking at these people gawking behind him. We can't have this conversation in the doorway.
Officers are coming. Clear the street.
As soon as I see Patty's, I'm looking for Malone. I do not want to see his face. I'm looking, and if I do spot him, I want to know immediately.
Tyler says, I can't move you, and hold this too.
I just grip my teeth and I say, you get me in the fucking shop.
MacSweeney, there's chaos everywhere, all around you.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm trying to, hanging with it, Eddie. Eddie's my friend, And I just look up Smalls, like, yeah, maybe you got the right idea. This is nuts.
There may be. If I could just take a little time to get my strength back, there may be a way to make this all right.
You should have drank the damn tea. It wasn't that bad.
It smelled pretty awful.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
You put a lot of sugar in it, it's not that bad.
We might be able to make this. Remember when we took our journey?
Yeah, don't remind me.
Well, sorry to remind you, but that may be the way that we can make this right. Make these people whole and recover that which was just taken from us by that violent man.
I'm finally going to shut up, listen to you. And so I'm just still kneeling by Driscoll.
You and me both, pal. We both should listen.
Yeah. But he was a stick in the mud. It still is, by the way. Still is. Hang in there, buddy.
What's he talking about, Terrence? Is he gonna change me back? Brent said he was gonna change me back.
I don't know, Eddie. I don't know. I hope so. Because between you and me, I look over at Thornton. You ain't so good looking right now.
If we can get that book back from that hooligan that ran from the shop, we might be able to bring ourselves back to good health and restore a semblance of order to Newbury Street, and perhaps repair whatever has been done to you, Mr. Driscoll.
That'd be the first good thing that's happened to me in the last week or so.
I've read enough in the book to attempt to stepping through a gateway. But that might take us back. And from there, we move forward once again. And this time we are ready. We'll have the book back. And we'll be ready for the reappearance of this Calloway fellow, and then the Thornton fellow, the other man. It might work, it might not, but it's worth a try. Otherwise, I'm going to have to call my Aunt Tilly. I don't want to do that.
Well, and this is too much for me. That's
She's part owner of the shop. I can't leave everything like this.
I don't know, Terrence. I got another kidney and I'm willing to risk that. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
don't worry about that, Eddie. Don't worry about that. You just hang on.
Right.
Prince keeps looking into the shop, says, MacSweeney, help me with Alice.
Oh, I'm helping Eddie here.
You ain't doing shit. Go help him. Go
He
help the
shot you, for
lawman.
Christ's sakes.
MacSweeney, help me with Alex.
What are you gonna do? Shoot me? I'm not standing up. Gonna help him.
Terrence, don't be an asshole. I'm gonna be fine here.
He should have told me that 20 years ago. It would save me a lot of grief.
Despite himself, he's got a little wheezy laugh escapes Eddie.
Somebody got a lot of nerve telling me to help somebody to save my friend. Some freaking lawman you people are.
He was shooting me.
Yeah, he was shooting you.
Oh, well,
He ain't that lousy of a shot. He's a government man. Not like me. He wouldn't want me shooting anywhere near you.
yeah, but his ID said treasure. I didn't think those guys were. Oh. And he just kind of trails off.
I walk over to Prince and give me a hand on. What do you need?
Just help me get him onto the floor here, in and out of all this glass.
Yeah, sure.
I have to keep pressure here, so on 3.
While this is happening, the first time I've seen Sweeney's face, I'm watching him just to finally be able to put a name with the face.
That's why I help. It's not phenomenally gentle, but I help.
As they're moving you, the hoofbeats charge across the battlefield of your mind. There is something important about the you that is not you.
Looking at Prince, where is that thing at?
It's gone.
Not what? No, the thing that is me.
That's Eddie Driscoll. Something's been done to him. Plastic surgery or something.
What? Now that I've been kind of moved a little bit, I'll try to move my head to see who he's.
He's right there. The man that you shot in the back is right there.
And that's the me that I shot. And he's referring to him as Eddie Driscoll.
Yeah. That you've just been talking to from other sides of the wall. Eddie's voice. Your face.
Hey, you got your ID. You got your fancy treasury badge. Do you have it with you right now?
I got everything in the bag and on me. But the cops are going to be here soon.
And he kind of reaches feebly into his jacket, pulls out a wallet, looks very familiar to you. And he kind of tries to toss it over to you. It only goes about halfway. And it lands open. And you can see the badge. You can't see the ID, but it looks like a Treasury ID. I woke up with that. I woke up not knowing who. I woke up not knowing. I mean, I know who I am. I'm Eddie Driscoll, but I woke up looking like you.
My head is just going to start shaking. Did you see some tattooed men? Do you remember tattooed men?
I don't remember anything.
Did you escape from Danvers? Were you the one that escaped from Danvers?
I had a wristband from Danvers on my arm. It had your name on it.
Looking back at Tyler, I just tell him that Xavier's got something coming now. That he's crossed the line more than once now. And that this is going to be it. Tyler, when the cops get here, you're going to have to handle things. There's no way we can explain the two of us. You need to get him out of here. He can't be here. I can, but he can't. So you got to leave. You got to go. I fumble into my pocket and drag out the keys for the car. Whatever you got to do.
Whoa. My friend's got to get an ambulance, just like you.
When the cops show up, this is going to turn into a dog and pony show. You do realize that, right? Unless one of us gets out of here, it's not just going to be the cops and the Treasury agent coming down on us. It's going to be future and people coming down on us.
Future people for what? And who cares about future and people? And dog and pony show. You haven't seen a dog and pony show, pal.
I look around for the first Flatfoot. Tyler, if they show up and we're both here, there's going to be some serious problems for everybody.
He's right. He's right. You got to put me on ice someplace.
You got to go to the hospital, pal. You're going to die. I mean, you're going to be okay, but you're going to die.
Then stop standing around and squawking, grab him with Tyler and get him in the car. You can leave me here. I am not dying. I'm not going to be going anywhere, but I'm not dying. Trust me, if we're both here.
I ain't dying either.
If we're both here, there's
You
going to
both need to go to the hospital.
problem.
I can't leave either. I shot men in the street. But MacSweeney doesn't have to be here.
Okay.
Listen, I got a bad history of leaving Driscoll at the hospital.
You don't, brother, you don't have to say that twice.
So
One at a time.
Yeah, if the cops haven't started coming in yet, then we got to get closer together so we can get this story straight. There's going to be some serious fallout from this.
All right, Smalls. Give me a hand with him. What the hell? Let's get the hell out of here. These people are all crazy.
Happy to help, but this is my shop. I just can't leave the shop. The police will be looking for me. But I'm happy to help lift these men.
Eddie Thornton has been holding out the keys, I think. Keys to a car.
Yeah, I've got the keys for my car, but
I'm gonna grab them right from Thornton.
at this point, there's probably so many people and stuff in the street, we might not be able to get out of here because I can't see what's going on outside.
Come on, Swallows, give me a hand with Driscoll. I'll get the hell out of here.
All right. Favoring one of his arms, which has been injured, he will try his best to assist MacSweeney using the leverage from his other, using his other arm and the leverage of his weight and whatever he can do to help.
Right. And as we,
but yeah, even Small's arm you can see like there's like missing pieces of fabric and there's like, looks like a bad burn, like an electrical cable, has been like sort of wrapped, like he put his arm across a live wire and there's burn marks along one arm.
you gotta get that looked at too, Smalls, and you gotta drink some of that crap Finn gave you. And as he's helping me, just pull Driscoll out of the front of the shop towards Thornton's car. So I'll just lean down Thornton and say, listen, get one thing straight. I don't work for you. Don't talk to me like that. just keep pulling Driscoll out into the street.
Pressure, Thornton. Nice. The hoofbeats, the push, the pulling, just like with Mickey. Something about Driscoll.
Clutching Tyler's shirt. Now that the keys are out of my hand, I'm grabbing a fistful of Tyler's shirt and say, at your first opportunity, I pull him close. At your first opportunity, you get Kyle.
All right.
You understand?
Just relax.
No, I am about as relaxed as a man with a gun wound can be.
In the car. 2 men left behind. Lungs struggling. Head pounding. Book in your hand. Malcolm desperately searching for streets he can go down to stop speeding and just look like a normal car. He's making turn after turn after turn, looking for a place where he can just blend with traffic.
Let's go on. Let's go on, Malcolm.
Book doesn't feel like a book anymore. It's a little like the flesh of a man's hand. And there's a sense at the back of your mind, someone wants to tell you something. I'd ask you to roll your power times 5.
The headaches and the shallow breath and the kind of fever, the sweating. My head turned as I listened to the voice. Blurry vision.
Life doesn't need to end. Health, wealth, happiness, more than happiness, contentment, no, satisfaction. All these secrets can be yours. Just read. Just read.
The book is settling into your hands like a lover on a cold winter night.
I open it slowly. Start turning the pages, looking at the pages, looking at the writing. Grab an handkerchief and I take my hat off, place my hair, and the sponge the sweat, and as I turn the pages,
Like Small said, it's Latin. It's meaningless. But you can feel the meaning behind the words. You know the answers are there if you could only read and understand the words. But the pictures are clear enough. Meanwhile, back in the shop, a doctor's been brought in off the street. As he's assessing the damage, assessing the blood, trying to figure out who to help first, the ambulance that MacSweeney had called arrives.
Pulling Eddie out in the street. So I was going to like Thornton's car. I just completely changed my mind, make a beeline right for the ambulance, pulling Yank and Driscoll with him. Here, over here. He's gonna bleed out. He's been shot pretty bad.
They, of course, respond.
And I'm looking at Eddie, don't worry, he'll be all right. He's gonna die.
Doctor and Tyler working on Alex. I'm gonna have to go to the hospital, son.
Give me the Boston Med.
There's a lot of blood here. Was someone else shot?
I try and weakly point at the receding backs of MacSweeney and Driscoll as they're making their way towards the ambulance. That man's been shot, and so was another man in the street.
Two men in the street. Both dead.
I just nod my head and say, good riddance to criminals.
Now, try to keep a charitable heart. Terrible what's happened to this shop. And as Eddie Driscoll makes his way toward the hospital, as Alex Thornton is helped, assisted toward the hospital, as Jim Calloway gets to know his new lover, Alfred Smalls, Terrence MacSweeney. The future seems fractured. But yet, when you're standing together, you can almost see where those fractures lead. We close our session for today.
Calling all cars.
Be on the lookout for 1928 Ford Phaeton in gray, last seen with top down and 2 occupants, both heavily armed and considered dangerous. If spotted, do follow and maintain distance. Radio dispatch with location and direction of travel. Suspects in the vehicle are believed to be Reardon. Repeat, suspects in the vehicle are believed to be Jim Calloway and Malcolm Reardon. Both are considered to be heavily armed.
Good stuff.
Mm.
He shot me.
I shot myself.
Well, shut up, Ted, you medieval dickweed. No.
Favorite part of the session was Calloway like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm just pushing him out there. It's like, it's okay. Okay, great. He's mad at seeing himself, all this other stuff. I got the book. I'm out of here.
Like a
These
quarterback with the football.
Hell out of hell.
Alex Thornton comes in. Now I see the both of them. In front of me on the ground, and he shoots the other Thornton. I know, what the hell is that? I'm out of here. But I'm so weak that I can't even grapple with Thornton, in the entrance because I'm skinny and I'm frail and I'm weak. I went to him and challenging me with a gun instead of being nice and kind.
What do you expect? He was.
Give me the book. Oh, forget about it.
I didn't ask about getting the book. I just said you weren't going to leave yet. And I was already, by the time I got here, probably like most of you guys, I don't know about Calloway, but I was already still really stressed out on sand, really stressed out on HP. And the last bit of news I had heard was that I had escaped from Danvers. And so when I hear shouting, shoot at it, the first it I'm shooting is the doppelganger because of the paranoia that I have going on in the background.
Yeah, and weirdly, Eddie.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Weirdly, Eddie might have been the most prepared for this because he knows there's another Thornton out there. He knows there's a real Thornton out there. So he just kind of, looks and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. And I was not expecting to see myself down here. That was none of it at all was what I expected to run into.
Yeah, I'm telling him, my head's really cool. We're going to play with Samuel G again. Brian Gregg is going to be playing with us. It'll be cool. Well, what happened? Oh, they shot everybody. It was great.
But, Alex
I thought it was
in the thing. And pow.
Oh, it was awesome.
You don't even know.
The only thing that would have made that even cooler is if, like, the dice decreed that Smalls and MacSweeney get shot by the hail of bullets through the town they go.
Oh, man.
And we escaped that.
But the thing that the problem, even for Jim Calloway character, the problem even for this guy with the decision making now, it's like, okay, I got one book, but there's possibly, like, according to these crazy, there's an infinite number of books going on, because that's what you guys told me. Terrence MacSweeney just said there might be 1, there might be 3, there might be 4, there might be 10, we don't know. And they always come back to life and stuff. So he's done with one book, but if there's more, it doesn't change anything.
And you really believe MacSweeney, though? He did seem a little high-strung.
He doesn't believe anybody anymore, but it's just, in the back of his mind, there's 3 books, maybe 4 in circulation. There's only 1 in his hand, and it's complicated as hell, only just to get.
He might believe the book.
And the book was now, speaking into his head as well, because I felt that was a problem for me. I failed the power check. So I was like, oh shit. How do I communicate that? How do I react? So I just send the message to Anthony like, tell me what's up. I'm listening. I'm blurry. I don't control anything. I'm soft. I open the book. I start to read. Tell me what's going on. But it's hard because it's almost like, okay, so how much of a mind control do I give it? You know?
Right. And it's not mind control.
Until a certain point, because you want the dice to mean something. So I failed. Therefore, I need to accept something.
Yeah. No, that's true. You handle it perfectly. I mean, the book isn't saying, take me to the bank, and you have to take it to the bank. It's not like that. It's like, listen to me. All makes sense. All go away.
The worst thing that happens is you end up like Smalls.
Yeah, Aunt Tilly says, take me to the bank, and we have to go to the bank.
No matter what the book says, Aunt Tilly, like, takes precedence.
Aunt Tilly's probably like Nyarlathotep or something. Who knows? But,
So now we are all separated again, right? So Eddie Driscoll is alone at the hospital. Alex Thornton is alone at the hospital.
Well,
there's only Smalls and MacSweeney together.
Yeah, nobody ever really goes with Eddie to the hospital. Once we drop one of these,
Tradition.
he'll be there for about.
He's got his own entrance now. They just have
before the
the
mob
sign
comes
over
to
the
pick him
door.
up. You know, for all I know, Calloway's gonna go over and pick him up and yank him out of the hospital. You know, and so, because that's what happens. Yes, Driscoll never really gets to heal. It's
The most restful day he had was the anniversary.
Yeah.
What you know? What
He doesn't even remember it.
There is something frustrating with this situation, though, is that as a player, I'm tired of playing alone. I want to play with you guys,
Right.
but as a character,
I'm wondering.
there was no reason for me to stay in that spot with this gigantic tongue and these crazy. There was no way. Listen, Brian Gregory, if you can listen to the session we just had last week, it's a freak show. It's the most third session. Like, there is no way Calloway would stay there. Just no reason at all. Fuck. I want to leave, because if I leave, I can have the book. It makes sense for my character. But now I'm alone again.
Here's the thing. I'm hoping, I mean, this may or may not work, because, what Smalls desires and what the universe does may be two different things, but I'm wondering if we might be able to pull a Lovecraftian Groundhog Day, because Smalls was able to get a glimpse at some spells, and he might be able to pull off a magic trick with MacSweeney, where we essentially go through some sort of a fissure or a gate that sort of takes us back, if you will, to the moment where we're together, but we'll have physically, we could have Alex Thornton with us. We could go back in time somewhat, but have the configuration of souls that we have now, with the exception of Jim Calloway. But we go back just enough so that we're kind of all together in the shop. The shop is put together nice. Aunt Tilly won't be mad. And then Jim comes back to the shop, saying, Malcolm, wait for me. I'm going to go in here and see if I can get this book. But this time we've all had the rest of us have had, because we're all going to go through the fissure. We all have the experience of what we all remember what just happened. But it might be enough, if it's enough of a magic trick. You know what I mean? We might be able to heal up, sort of get ourselves, and then in comes Jim Calloway. But this time, we know what he's got in mind when he turns up at Smalls Antiques, so we can sort of perhaps make a different, sort of a cosmic, rewind, a little bit of a cosmic rewind. I mean, that's an idea. Again, I don't know if it'll run that way, but
the important next part of the topic, which is indefinite insanity.
Well, sure. That's kind of where his brain. Yeah, I would. Yeah, this is, I see this kind of weird plan as perhaps one part of that, the manifestation of that insanity. Like this is how his mind is working now. Oh, well, simple. We'll just find a fissure in time. All of us will step through it. You know,
Everything's
get healed up. Everything's connected. Yeah, and then Calloway will come back. But this time we get the jump on Calloway, and we can convince him there's a better way. And on a meta level, it keeps all the players together, but gets us kind of in a new place, perhaps. But and maybe it fits into Small's new way of thinking.
But look, Smalls, Chin said you need rest and to eat. And there's some noodles, and I'll make you some more of that tea, okay? But you probably should just sit down.
Yeah.
I'll start sweeping up the glass, but you should probably have a little bit of tea and take a nap.
Yeah, he'll be like lighting a lamp and sort of
Small's defending his patch again. I thought that was fairly brilliant. And then just getting so focused on spells in the book and everything. All of it was just like, for me, was just kind of like what I've been watching over the last several months. Just
Every time MacSweeney tries to do something heroic, every time, it's either he's caught or he can't get out of his own way.
He's got the hat of a hero.
I don't know about that.
It's kind of funny because if when you look at tropes, you've got the hard-boiled, Xboxer PI and stuff, and he's largely been sort of a victim or a bystander to all of this stuff. So I would
Jack Burton.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going to say. If we go into this fissure, I'm pretty sure he's going to come out like not being very happy about it and going, oh my God, time travel. I don't want to talk to the cops. None of this is real.
But is it doable? Is it doable? The spell?
I'm not
No
going to
idea.
answer that question. That will be part of the exploration of play.
But is it a kind of clue like in the book and everything, or it's just an idea from Brand?
It would be something. If anybody here who's had access to the book, if that's Smalls, he's the only one that would be able to do it. So it's largely, especially for me, kind of out of my hands. I mean, yeah, it is frustrating to get together and hit in media res and all of a sudden just have all hell break loose. But it is what it is. If
It's part of the game.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
But if that's something that Smalls is able to do, it's something that Sweeney and Smalls are going to have to coordinate, right?
Would everybody heard him?
That can be
babbling
very
about it.
interesting to
The
roll.
idea has been planted, and everybody except Calloway has heard him babbling about it. But the idea has been planted, and no answer from here. But in terms to answer your question, I didn't want to get into it because we were going to go back a little further. I openly was calling for dice rolls right today because there's so many of us, and I didn't want to be in a position where I forgot anything. So called for dice rolls, and I gave out your sanity rewards in a different way than usual, right? Again, so that you could record them right away and I wouldn't forget what number went with which person. So we know that Smalls has entered indefinite insanity. So this is when a character, all in one go, or in a short period of time, loses a fifth of their current sanity. So that would be 10 in Smalls's case, but he lost 11.
Yep.
So we need to find an appropriate effect, and I think we're on the right track here with connections, with the fluidity of time, the reversibility of time, and we can fix it, but also the fixation on this point in time as being important. Yeah. I think I really like that idea. It doesn't erase the previous sanity effects that you're that you're under.
Right.
Now, the difference between the traumas that the rest of you have experienced and what Smalls has experienced is that this particular fixation doesn't go away without long-term care. This is sending the character off to an asylum for treatment and this kind of thing. It's a major thing. So to either labor through or to shuffle the character off for a while and take up another character. For Agent Thornton, this was also another mentally scarring moment, losing 7 all in one go. This introduces another temporary insanity. And the existing one doesn't change at all. It might get worse, I suppose, or we might add in some color to it. You seem to be seeing enemies everywhere.
Well, I see one
Isolational
enemy. Yeah, I see one enemy in particular. That's where the source of my paranoia has been coming from, is one person who I thought was a friend or was trying to be a friend, but now seems to be setting me up. This would also connect with, and I don't know, has everybody watched the fight with the ghost in the basement?
That's not.
Oh, that's not been up. Okay. So, I mean, do you feel okay if I mention that here?
I don't want to know about the fight with the ghost in the basement, man.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So at least the connection with that session, seeing and now realizing that the person I shot was actually one of the people that I needed to speak to, and seeing for myself what Xavier is willing to do, not just to me, but to someone else. I can definitely see a fixation on Xavier. Right. My asking Tyler if he is a marked man, is he holding your card?
Right.
It now feels like Tyler's the only person, hopefully not Bill, that hasn't been touched yet, right? By his influence.
So this opens up some things, right? Alex has been portrayed as having a healthy operational paranoia, right? This could just slide into what seems like paranoia, right? Because to outside eyes, right, there's no one looking for you, but you're seeing. Yeah, but there's also the fun thing of your first instinct was to shoot yourself. That's even how you expressed it in play, right? I'm shooting myself, right? That thing, othering yourself. So I wonder about your relationship with mirrors and taking care of yourself and self-harm. I think there's
that's definitely very viable. Given the state that I have kept myself in from session 3, I have never gone back up to full anything. Alex has been push. No rest, the only time, this is my second trip at the hospital. Keep in mind, if there's an appointment I'm supposed to get to, guaranteed I'm going to go to the hospital the day before that appointment happens, because I missed the date with Bill's girl that he was trying to set up.
Yeah. And
tomorrow is supposed to be the date I'm going to talk to Dad. Where am I at? I'm back in the hospital again. Except this time, I'm physically hurt even more worse than I was the first time. I mean, Did you
just say you haven't had the chance to take a rest or anything like that?
No, the character has literally not stopped.
Okay. Get off my lawn.
I was about to say the hospital thing. Join the club.
Yeah.
I think I'm going back to the third time, but yeah.
I just want to make 2 things really clear. I have all the money that was in the wallet that A. Driscoll had. That's Thornton's. And I also have Alex Thornton's car keys. I just want to make this clear.
I know. I handed them out. Where they've gone to at this point, I'm at the hospital.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I may be many, many things, but I'm not stupid. As Terrence MacSweeney.
There it is.
Who the hell tell him not to be a jerk? Just should listen.
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
That was
Don't be an asshole, MacSweeney.
Yeah, there were a couple moments like with that. It's like, yeah, well, you should have told me that long. Well,
This is beautiful. Yeah.
I'm sure the amount of times Eddie's probably told him that.
Yeah.
Right.
And vice versa.
You can feel the love.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, what was everybody else's reaction when all of a sudden this is the first time we're all playing together. What was your guys' reaction when two players start to shoot at each other?
Awesome. Like holy
Anyways,
mackerel.
I'm just
expect
curious as like an audience in that point in time, because I had no problem with it. It was the appropriate actions that were happening. The last time I was with Callaway, our parting as characters didn't end very well. It ended on a very strong point of distrust, probably. And so when Callaway's trying to get away, and this isn't
Guns
to
out.
say, and we as a treasure agent, I know he's a mobster, right? I know he's a criminal. we haven't been able to prove anything yet, but we are pretty damn sure that he is responsible for a lot of stuff.
I would say you were all, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
Brian.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think you guys are all very good gamers. So I would say just sort of play to find out and go where the fiction leads. That's my, so if there is this sort of conflict happening, I see it. I trust in the sort of it's on the character level. So I don't think there's any players that are going to get bent that
No.
the characters are acting in a certain way, and then, it's a sort of this is a very interesting, like all things in the campaign. I'm a big proponent of let's see where this goes. This is a very, very interesting turn of events. So let's just see where it leads.
Honestly, being on the
Go. All
okay. Yeah, being on the receiving end, I was kind of curious as to how all that would play out. Like, okay, so I'm this physically transformed being. Is there going to be some kind of, am I going to wake up with, in a Morgan warehouse at some point, or what's going on? Or is this the end of, Eddie Driscoll's arc? Who knows? I was as curious as anybody else to find out what was going to happen.
Or Eddie dies in another man's body.
Yeah.
Listen, the fact that Eddie's still alive session after session amazes me.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact, I was like, well, he's died. Okay, like from MacSweeney's standpoint, the only two people in that room he cares about are Driscoll and Smalls. I mean, everybody, I have no idea who these guys are. Go ahead, shoot each other, guys. You got to do it up.
And nobody has plot armor. It's just it is just any one of us could have caught a stray bullet, or that blue thing that came out of the safe could have whacked any one of us, sucked any one of us into God knows where. So
yeah,
I remember.
Go ahead, Anthony. No, go ahead.
Okay, so as not playing a character, to how this part of this session felt for me was, it's my responsibility to describe this thing coming out of the safe and try to help make that frightening or horrific or whatever. At the same time, we also have meeting yourself by surprise. So I'm not sure what I would do in that situation, right? I'm thinking, if I have a gun, I'm going to want to shoot this thing, or I'm going to want to get as far away from it as possible. But there's also this hook of that guy looks exactly like me, and not like makeup in a toupee kind of thing. It's me. Yeah. Especially after all the trauma. So it was something I was thinking about during play is the reactions of people, stand and fight or flight, kind of thing was very engaged. It was very interesting to see how people responded.
Well, it's also very good that the meta wasn't explained either. That, I see Eddie Driscoll's name, in our Zoom square, right? But I don't know as the player that Eddie Driscoll isn't Eddie Driscoll, the one I saw in the hospital. I just know that I see me there.
Yeah.
So I'm not able to place the player as I was thinking that that's an NPC, to be honest with you.
Right.
That did not, as a player, and that's one of the reasons why sometimes it's good not to have meta knowledge about what has happened.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this post session last week because Callaway wasn't sure either. Jean-Francois wasn't sure either because I had that name on my. He's like, you're looking at Alex Thornton, and he actually referred to me as Driscoll at some point, and I'm kind of like, oh,
Yeah, I didn't make it clear.
Who's that?
I didn't make it clear what he looked like, and so confusion ensued. Yeah,
that's interesting,
but it was good.
Nice. It's nice.
I'm glad you thought you were shooting an MTC. No,
that brings up an interesting point though, because that's part of the thing is there's that moment like because I thought it was cool. I thought it was very appropriate as a
yeah.
Like, holy shit! It just sounds scattered. It's terrible. But then I'm like, oh no, it's not.
It's really cool.
But it's cool. But the thing is,
Scott survived the shooting of his character.
If we if we want to play in the at the level of the imagined situation and the characters and all that kind of stuff, we can't help but as human beings to have those other concerns. Like, boy, I hope this doesn't isn't this upsetting for the other players, even if we've all already said no, it's fine, let's do it. So having that, if there was a way to have complete like a double blind, so you just don't know. That's not possible, but almost was possible where you really didn't know. So that's actually kind of cool.
And I would add too, like just from a system dork perspective, the type of game that Call of Cthulhu is, if any one of us loses a character, whether it's by another player's character's agency or some other event in the game, it's not like a Dungeons and Dragons where it's like, okay, oh man, I've been playing this character since first level and I'm now 8th level. And now I need to kind of, you don't want to lose a character that you've kind of layered up with all kinds of mechanical things. And then it's a headache to try to have to, now everybody else 8th level. Do I come in at 8th level? Do I come in at, and like all of those kind of to me, that's one of the, to my mind, is one of the kind of the brilliant aspects of a game like Call of Cthulhu, is that it's very where death can be so imminent and we're such fragile beings. It isn't a major sort of hassle, if you will, to bring in. I mean, plot wise, it could be a major change. It could change the whole tone of a game or the whole arc. But in a sort of a dice and pen and paper kind of a way, you're not sort of like, oh, now I got to roll up a dude and I got to level him up to whatever, and I got to figure out what kind of items he might have and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we're not really playing that way anyway. I probably shouldn't even bring it up, but it's one of the virtues, I think, of playing a game of this type. It's a feature of playing a game of this type.
This is a game of level drain. Not leveling up. It's again, that's a level drain.
Well, we all start as like competent people. Even if some of us are leading quiet, lives of quiet desperation, but yeah, we all start as competent folks, and then you sort of, kind of go down you start fracturing, and it's sort of enjoy the fall.
We all started out as relatively healthy, except for Jim Callaway, but
I was ready to die.
I know.
Oh yeah, I was very ready to die. I was like, he's waiting for me with a gun. I'm going in. Oh man, look at it. It's either a bunch of crazy, two looking like a giant tongue, or a bullet in his chest trying to escape. Yeah, I'm trying to get that drag. I'm trying to get the bullet. I'd rather get the bullet. I'd rather get the book out of here. I'd rather.
I envied you in that moment. Like, I don't know. Terrence MacSweeney has no idea what to do. Jim Calloway is a very clear path ahead of him. Get the hell out of Dodge.
You know who's gonna want to love to take pictures is my
It would
next
have
door
been a
neighbor
good
there.
end, isn't it? Would have been a good end. Imagine the character me describing. I have my gun in my hand. The book that's huge and looks like human skin under my arm, trying to leave, getting stuck in the chest in the doorway. Would have been perfect.
It's only
With my gangsters outside waiting because I know I have a car full of gangsters outside waiting. Would have been great to try to leave with the book and Brian really feeling me. I would have been in love with it.
Jim will probably wish that's what happened.
Yeah.
I think give him time. Jim will wish. Oh man, if I had just gotten shot.
Well, and even from my end of it, if Alex were to have been gunned down in the doorway in the course of his duties, I mean, that for me would have been a perfect end for my character as well. Taking out it, following up on the loss of a fellow officer, loses his life in the line of duty. So at that point, it was more like, for me, it was doing my job, stop the gangster, stop the criminal. He's taking, what I've been looking for without even knowing.
Weird though for MacSweeney, not exactly like a noir character, but he's been battered and beat up. But despite all that, he's gone through this relatively unscathed compared to the people around him. He's just, it's like he's in the middle of a busy street and he keeps on getting like slightly bumped by things. And he's watching people around get hit by buses. Bam, bam, bam. And he's just, what the hell just happened? So he's, even now, just even with it, it's a cross between the supernatural and the mundane.
There's got to be a golden boy in every group. And
he's the biggest jerk. He is
a jerk.
He's a jerk. He's a jerk, and it's just
Eddie has his number.
Should never have let Kevin McInnes in the door that first time. I should have just said,
it wasn't my intention for him to be a jerk, but he just really, that's the character that came out, but just everything around. So he's getting bruised and like that, but he's just watching the bombs blow everything around him. And he's, sort of shell-shocked, but
it's so interesting for me because listening to you and the way I started the Jim Calloway character, I wanted him to be retiring. No, not doing gangster duty. A man on a retired mission, like on retirement. And the beginning, the first session was that. But the game forced me to become mean and get back the gangster because now I need to get the book and get my gun out and kill some people and hijack a boutique on Newbury Street, doing gangster stuff because the game is pushing me to that limit now because
you never get out of the mob, man. You never get out of the mob.
I tried.
Never get out of the mob.
Yeah.
I tried hard. They don't want me out. They don't want me out.
The only way out is leukemia, man. Leukemia is the only way out.
Yeah, and I really forbid Smalls to go to get treatment. I think that would be the worst thing in the world. I much prefer Smalls to be like like Blair in the shack in the thing, just like or whatever, or the person with all strings, like the conspiracy theorists.
I don't think
just get back to this 11:59.
Well, that's it. I don't think Smalls desires. He certainly doesn't desire treatment. He thinks that. That's right. Yep. We got to get back to Taranowski's bakery where we can have some of those delicious donuts.
Now remember the teacup was here, and we just have to put this over here and this the line.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. It's a new way. I think that sort of magical thinking is probably where I can lean into his madness. His. I mean, we see it as madness, but he would see it as eminently reasonable. I think that's kind of how cultists get that way in a game like Call of Cthulhu. They actually all, they
reasonable people.
Right.
They're so dogmatic that they use reason to bring you in. Like
Hey,
it's true. There's no way around it.
if you
Worry
could
about
only see things the way I do, you know,
Exactly.
we wouldn't be fighting, you know. So, yeah.
So I sent Brian Cormanche an email earlier this week. I meant to send it a while ago, but in it gave him a quick summary because he has read the book. Right. So it gave him a quick summary of what you know, kind of thing. And some of Smalls's madness is fueled by what he knows, or the context for that madness is fueled by what he knows. But one of the things that I like to do with these books is you can learn a certain number of spells or procedures or whatnot when you read books in Call of Cthulhu. I like to also imply what you could have learned, what is left to be learned, or what it seems like the author was intending to tell you but didn't finish, or your copy's not complete, or the translation was bad, or something like that, to kind of tie into that mad quest you see in Lovecraft and other authors, where they're looking for the 1782 edition of a particular book, or there's a reference to some hermit on some island somewhere, and you got to go there to see if there's a cave painting or something like that. So I sent that.
Yeah, I was using the knowledge of that email, like as a player, to kind of guide some of Smalls's mad scheme to perhaps thread his way back through the gates of time to maybe get us all back together again and kind of get us to a moment where we could kind of hit the cosmic reset. So that's what, he's sort of referencing. Smalls is sort of saying, well, he's got this knowledge of some of these things. So he doesn't have them all, but he's got just enough, probably just enough to get us into another heap of trouble. But, enough to give it a go, have a go and see.
Nothing ever goes wrong with you, man. Nothing ever goes wrong.
What I want to know is you keep on saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Do you have a mouse in your pocket?
No, I got a MacSweeney at my
No, okay, I'm just saying. No, you must have a mouse.
No, we're a team. We get, you and
mine, and we belong together.
But
Me too.
Brian agree. I hope you get to watch last week's session, so you know what happened just before you arrived. That was hilarious, man. It was third.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it really was. I don't know what he walked into. Believe me, what you walked into as Alex, as crazy as it was, was not as crazy as what happened last week. I'm talking to John Russell like during middle week, and it's like I did not envy that moment of like, what the hell is happening? You just
Man, and you know what Anthony told me afterwards? That the boutique stuff, the antique stuff, was your safe space, your safe haven. I came in, guns blazing, destroying everything in one session, leaving with the book. Basically, that's what I did. I just destroyed the safe haven without knowing,
Nice.
and ruined the safe space of that team and left with the book.
I think it just sort of punctuates.
That's not what I wanted to do at all. I had no idea. I wanted to play with others.
That's fine. That's why we don't. That's why you just can't play it.
But in a weird sort of a way, maybe you just shattered Smalls's prison.
Oh yeah.
In this sort of and his magical way of thinking, like he was because I think of Smalls. He was a sort of a quiet, eminently reasonable, quietly desperate man with a little ordered world of living in other people's pasts with all these antiques and all these mementos of other people's lives. This sort of this sort of fairly well-heeled, but essentially a kind of a non-player character in the world of, in the world.
In his own life.
In his own life, right. He's got all these mementos of all these other people's lives. And that's what he's kind of a ghost in the shop. And
now it's destroyed.
Now you've sort of you've highlighted that. You've really underscored that he is now moved into another. He might not be happy about it. He probably is not happy that all this has happened, but on some level, I think he's recognizing that this is he's moved, it's like lighting a match. The bridge is behind you and you've got to keep going forward.
So I think the counterpoint to that,
it's a good opportunity for your character.
And it's a good inflection for the insanity.
Yeah.
We've seen Smalls at his most alive when he's farthest away from home.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I remember a scene with Small. It's in a well. A well.
Yeah.
You guys went into a well. The thing is hilarious. I don't remember exactly details.
Oh yeah. Yes, it is.
You got stuck into a well, and I don't remember exactly. It's at the beginning of the campaign.
Oh yeah.
We were down in it.
To save me, and I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna fall on me. He's stuck. And we're trying not to laugh because it's very in character. It's exactly what Smalls would do. But there's,
Right.
We're like also like, oh my God.
And then he couldn't get out under his own steam. Like we were like, and then he was out, and that was one of the earliest occasions of an inkling that something's not quite, or things are different. Something's up. Reality.
All the stuff with the book, you could kind of talk away, but that moment and some other moments underground were. Phosphorus gas.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there was bad air down there. Somehow we made it out, and we just don't remember. But that was when things started to get his worldview started to change. So,
all right.
Yeah, I know you got to go. But the very maddening thing that being MacSweeney is there's so many people that I should go see. Really. Literally.
Professionally. Yeah.
No. I really need to go see Gavigan. I really need to go see Father Flanagan again. I really should. I would love to go talk to Carol Spinnaker. In the meantime, Gabriel Washburn, I need to talk to the lieutenant. There's all these people that I need to talk to. I need to talk to Mr. Chin again. And I just, I'm completely.
When's the last time you had a cup of coffee with your editor, man? When's the last time?
I can't go to him because I've got to talk to Smalls again, because at least I've got to make this pretense of having this article.
Go to sleep, MacSweeney. Go to sleep.
So there's so many, so he's not attending to not just the mundane things in his whole own life, but to the ridiculous things or ridiculous of the authorities he needs to talk to in his insane life right now.
You're like the suffering.
You're like the Kolchak of the 1920s. You're just.
So you're also kind of suffering professionally. In other words.
Oh yes, a little bit. Except I got you all your money, or Eddie's money, whatever this money was.
I spent most of the money that was in that wallet. So
listen,
you got my keys, not my badge, not the official badge anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, the keys are gone. You got the fake.
One thing I wish is that we meet again in character. Let's say in a couple of weeks and months, and the archive meets again, and you guys are like, "Oh, you motherfucker now! Oh, you destroyed my stuff. You stole my book. You fell at me. I'll have a couple enemies now. I have at least 3 or 4. So. $5. Imagine bumping on each other in another situation, completely different. And we bump on each other.
It's possible. I could have put $5 on you bringing the book. Say, please take it back. Yeah.
Sorry, no returns from Small's Antiques. No returns,
especially with no receipt.
That's right. You break it. You've
never seen this book.
Yeah,
it doesn't fit on the shelf.
You wouldn't be the first mobster that stole that book from that store, and you probably won't be the last.
Yeah. I am looking forward to when you guys are able to watch all of the different branches and see how things fit together. And so does Cody, apparently.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, yeah.
We were talking earlier about, how coming into the session, for me, it has really been blind, because whenever Anthony and I have a conversation, I would be like, okay, how far can I watch? What's the episode where I should be cutting off by the time we get to start to play the next episode? Because I don't want to get too close, Yeah,
Right,
I want as a player, I keep coming into every game blind, depending on what's been going on. So like there for a while for Terrence and Smalls and Driscoll, I was like not doing anything 3 sessions prior to mine. So I was like watching stuff from you guys playing near when we first began playing, right, with those characters. I know Driscoll was picked up by you, but I try to avoid that information at all costs.
Yeah,
Even the Callaway episode.
I enjoyed hearing you as Ivan, hearing you spout up what seemed to me as nonsense, So like that helped to keep it very in character for me. What's he talking about?
Well, and I have to. I mean,
Well, yeah.
Not only that, but it's like I'm hearing bits and pieces of people outside shouting. I'm hearing you guys talking inside. I'm hearing a voice that with my face, and I'm still in shock that I couldn't apprehend Callaway, that I'd been shot by Callaway, right? And just it's sometimes just spouting dribble, like talking to Tyler Prince. I'm only referring to the concerns of why I came down here. I never asked him why he never called, or anything like that. And much like you, my concern was about the people I know as a team, right? Your character, the MacSweeney is very friendly with Smalls and Driscoll, whereas I'm more, what's going on? Where's Kyle? Why didn't I ask Kyle to come down here with me? I should have asked Kyle to come down here with me.
Put someone else in the line of fire.
Not necessarily, but to have not to use Kyle as plot armor, but
I got behind Kyle
for the large part, right? Kyle has been my partner. For the most part, Bill was taking care of Tyler Prince. So when all of a sudden Tyler's disappeared, I'm like, crap. I should have kept closer tabs on Tyler. I've lost another guy in the field, or we've lost another guy in the field, only to find out.
And that's the next character.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. But Alex Thornton and Jill Calloway got that close to be friends. That close.
Yeah.
Well,
Very, very close. One half of the scene could have been completely different.
And that's the beauty of hindsight, right? And the beauty of not playing within the meta.
Yeah.
Because in our conversation, right, when we were talking about being able to get together for the session previous to this, when I had all the computer problems, so you had mentioned, hey, I could give you a call. And my reply was, well, why would you? If you think about the conversation we had or how the last session ended, it didn't end very well as far as the relationship between the two characters. Because I did literally tell you, I was like, the only way you might be able to get trust back from me is to turn state's evidence.
Yeah, I don't think so. So it was interesting. I'm looking forward to those coming out. There were some really poignant moments between the gangster and the treasury agent. And
it would be an unlikely duo, but it would definitely be an interesting duo with tension. Right? If we could just get along and work together. If only Callaway would redeem himself before he dies of natural causes. This was Alex's point of view, would be Alex's point of view.
Or unnatural causes, as it turns out.
Well, yeah, now it's unnatural causes. But
well, I mean, gunfire and horses in the street. Do you use the crosswalk? No.
Yeah, I had to know.
That was pretty cool. Right?
Yeah.
Very vivid picture of how, like, despite how long it took us to describe it, very vivid picture of how that gunfight and resulting gunfire, took place. And I was standing like, Jesus, Smalls, get down. For the love of God, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
But
I wasn't.
so it's okay.
Like usually DRP is faster, right? And I mean, I know the dexterities of each of the characters, but in a kind of a brand new PvP kind of situation, I just didn't want to run the conversation. So I wanted you to express what your dexterities were, so you knew who was going first. There's a chance to go for cover right? So now so who's going to go around the corner, right? Who's going to go around the corner? Who's going to do? I'm going to do it. I'm going to open fire. Blam blam blam. Okay, so it's all pretty clear. But usually BRP combat can go at the speed of conversation. Right. Although I find it does work best with a simple declaration of intention. Right. So if we have, I'm going to shoot him and run out the door. That's two distinct things. Or I'm going to dive for cover and fire back. What is that really? Is that firing back and diving for cover? Or is that diving for cover and then popping back up to? Right. So if you have
the fight scene with Mickey the Fist, that conversation that you and I had about what's the most important thing you're going to do.
Yeah.
Right. You can't both shoot him in the chest and try and choke him out with your forearm as you're straddling him across the desk. Pick something.
Pick one. And what's the important one? And so then there'll be times where I'll kind of rewind a moment, right? Because the characters are coming together and their guns are both coming up. One of them is quicker than the other. The one of them is going to get to fire faster than the other. But what was the other person doing while the necessity of speaking separately is taking place? Right. So I'm going to walk up, I'm going to shoot him right in the chest. Great. What were you doing while that was being lined up? Right. I was throwing myself behind the table. Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
like intent can trump mechanical. Yes, maybe mechanically one character goes before another in the number sequence, but in the flow of the game, that even somebody that maybe that person with the higher number might sort of express an intent to hesitate or to do something other than simply fire first, and that might give the other character who has mechanically a lesser dexterity, they might actually get off the first shot because the person who has the higher dexterity is sort of expresses a momentary hesitation that is reflected in like, okay, you would have gone first, but you're trying to do something else, or you're taking a moment, or you're whatever it is, you're hesitating, and I'm going to let the person with a lower dexter, or no, I'm not. It's like you're essentially kind of foregoing your immediacy because of how you might play out that scene.
Context changes or whatever. So
right.
Some things are super slow. I probably misspoke. Because essentially a lot.
No, it was slow.
We're all shouting out like our intentions or like multiple intentions or whatnot. And I think it's one of those things like, we didn't play Mythos enough in our games with some other players, but it takes a while, like with any system, to kind of like be not just have facility with the system, like how do the dice work, but like what kind of action should I, or intention should, like how big of an action should I say, at a time. And some games is very abstract. If we're playing Star Wars, it might be a lot more abstract. Here, it's like little chunks.
Yeah. Well,
And then
and to our credit, we have 7 people, right? And
Probably 6.
I think 6. We did.
Kobe 7.
We did a really good job about not really stepping on each other's toes. There was, there were some silences. They weren't awkward, but it was like, okay, do I go ahead and can I just say something? And somebody would say something, but there wasn't like a real detrimental hiccup. And considering that, when was the last time that you guys had a group this large online all playing together?
Long time. And
so
I was also playing with time a little bit.
Yeah.
They're having conversations in the corner of the shop. Now, realistically, they're playing out at the same time as other stuff. But, we're just like an ebb and flow in the disrupted time of Smalls's shop as something hungry came from prehistory to suck out your life force.
Well, yeah, I think that's kind of like a discussion. It might have been a discussion you were having with Mr. Bacon recently, with the idea that like sometimes you'll have to, or people will imagine everything after everything happens. Like, okay, what does the scene really look like? And in a case like this, you kind of I found I kind of had to do that. I mean, I'm imagining it in as it's happening, but then I'm like, I've got to like, as things are winding down to a close in that moment. Okay, well, this is what it all really looks like. It's all happening at once. It's just not that hard to do if you've done it for a while. But yeah, so I'm like focusing on all these little things. Yeah, but I find it interesting enough that I'm like right there. So
talking about imagination, I agree with you. Like during the scene, it was in slow motion. So like the gas, slow motion in the air kind of thing, and all the movement and the big tongue and around Small's arm while the other Thornton shooting. But when the scene kind of exactly when the scene kind of slows down to an end, just like we just said, it's just like a synthesis in the mind where I can get the big picture of everything.
Yeah.
So it's slow motion during the time we do it in my head, and then eventually when we kind of wrap up at the end, when the car left, everything for me, because I sat down and it was real turn. In my imagination, everything fasted it and became like the big thing. For me, that's what happened in my imagination.
Yeah, for me, it was when you bolted out of the door, like after the whole shots are fired, you're already on your way across the street. I mean, that was probably for me, that was the top part that slowed down for me to imagine the whole scene all as one piece. Not seeing it from Alex's, like a third person point of view. It's just there are shots fired in this shop. All of a sudden, this figure runs out and is running across the street. And then another figure comes out of the shop, Tyler, and is the one who's taking fire. I didn't even imagine my own character getting hit during that scene.
Yeah. Tyler was a Chekhov's gun moment for me. We've been talking about Tyler's guns since we met Tyler. Right? The first conversation between Agent Thornton and where are your guns? Oh, I'm not wearing them. Go home and get them.
Yeah. He wasn't even armed. Not even armed.
And then Calloway shows up, gets the drop on everybody, right? And so he's looking for the opportunity to get to these guns he's carrying. Doesn't happen. And so finally, in this particular part of the session, he goes out into the street. It's very funny.
The NPC is the acting hero. Kills two gangsters. Saves Alex Thornton. Yeah.
The stance of the dice.
Ridiculous.
He did not die in that moment. I mean, I'm thinking, how does this agent live? And he's taking on guys with Tommy guns and there's bullet. How many mobsters did Calloway bring with him? And he's just out there like a Pinkerton man, just bringing him down.
That's the luck of the dice.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still suspecting that something crazy will come out of Tyler. Who knows?
Somebody has to remain untouched by all of this horror.
Yeah. Might as well be the guy from Princeton, right?
Exactly. Final thoughts?
Coming in media res was hot and heavy. I mean, as the guy who came into the action already in progress, it was challenging to say, not do the most game obvious thing and attack the monster only, right? Because game-wise, we know that and this is just going on a limb, a Hound of Palandos is a very, very dangerous foe. Not like there could have been anything I could have done against it. But there have been few in media res's experience is like this that I have regretted the action that I took. I do kind of regret looking back on it, not attacking the monster. This isn't knowing that it's another player character, right?
No.
Yeah. But that I do kind of in hindsight regret not taking direct action against the mythos threat.
I just want to say how pleasurable it is to play with all of you. This is I'm having a fantastic time, and I'm really enjoying the caliber of the people that are assembled here. This is really great stuff.
Me too.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I have fame, and too bad I'm gonna go back alone.
He says, we never
know what's gonna happen.
Keep reading that book, man.
For real, it's a pain. I'm gonna try to arrange something with Anthony to so we can crush over soon. It's hard playing alone. It's hard. I find it alone. I find it hard myself when
It's hard.
It's fun when you have a lot of people. You can get inspired by other people's action.
God, I don't know. I mean, I played, and I get it. You know, we all have experienced it different ways. The solo play for me has been kind of something about what Anthony said a while back. When you a lot of times when you play that solo game, when the two people are working together so well, it almost it super energizes the session. Because I know what Anthony wants to see. He has a really good idea for what I want to see. He's not afraid to let me run and push my character, kind of wind up and let's see where Alex goes.
Yes.
But solo can be very hard. I mean, there are points where I, as a player, will purposely make an exit stage left maneuver on the story level to see if this is where we're going to end the session. Right. I've spent too long with this NPC. I've got all my questions answered. I need to go to a different place. It's challenging, and especially if you've never played true solo, like play by yourself. Even more challenging to avoid the Sega principle, right?
But in the gangster's case, the situations that Jimmy Calloway has been playing through have been really bleak. You know, it's been one ugly thing after another ugly thing, pretty much continually. Whereas with Agent Alex Thornton, there have been highs and lows. There's been a lot of weirdness, but there's been also a lot of action, and Alex himself is kind of gung ho.
Yeah.
I got to play the night somehow.
Yeah, I like solo play, but with a game master, but it can get draining, but I like it. But there's one, but it was a great session at a lot of different levels. But to me, the best part, really looking back as a whole and synthesizing everything that happened, it's like, here, this is Scott. Hey, Scott, meet Brian. Oh, that's good. I shoot Scott.
Yeah.
It's how we roll, buddy. It's how we roll.
Yeah.
That's Scott. Okay, it's good to meet you. I suit his character.
And before the session, I thought to myself, okay, so if Alex Thornton comes in, maybe I can engage in conversation with him.
Yeah.
Hi, Alex. He comes in and he shoots the guy right in, guns blazing into the exit. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. No, I'm not talking with it. And she's like, you put that out to me? No way, I'm not.
I'm putting a metal detector at the doors of Small's Antiques.
Yeah, exactly. and John Francois was like, hey, Brian just shot Scott. I shoot Brian.
F that guy. No.
And from MacSweeney's standpoint, he trips twice trying to save Smalls, and there's gunfire everywhere. Yeah.
No, again, just trying not to get, too much. I mean, I was thinking about what could possibly happen. So I didn't want to do that, his eyes get bigger as he realizes that he's the actual target or something like that. And I'm just sort of like, oh, okay, he sees the guy come in and pull the gun. Where's the monster? Where's he in relation? Oh, okay. He would naturally want to get out of the way, thinking, okay, this guy is, he doesn't know he's a knight, but he figures he's an agent of, the treasury, and he's going to be shooting whatever the hell this thing is. So get out of the way.
He shot me.
Yeah.
He shot me.
And as we talk often, right, it's one of these good parts that is a great story as byproduct. And the fact that it happened naturally in its own way.
Yeah.
It's still here to hound.
It's a smaller hound. Angrier, though, somehow.
My imagination was a lot scarier sounding, but I can hear it.
But I know for sure, at least for Alex, you know, he is going to come looking for MacSweeney. He is going to come looking for Smalls because and Driscoll too, because he knows that they have answers that he needs to hear, or he's at least got questions for them to help him come to some kind of resolution. So it's not like Alex would avoid MacSweeney, Smalls, or Driscoll. Like, he is definitely a little worried about now about Calloway, right? Calloway knows a little too much about me, and I know a little too much about Calloway. So,
and Smalls is thinking Calloway's got my book.
Yeah.
So we've got to find that man.
Yeah.
Calloway knows that Smalls has his Latin.
Perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
So even
Thornton's car keys.
he said there.
So
And you've got Thornton's face.
Yeah. So there's
your
all
peanut
kinds
butter
of-
in my chocolate. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter.
So if the time thing doesn't work, you know, we still have plenty of reasons for us to get
Lord,
together.
yeah.
That's true. We might be able to leave the esoterica at the door and just, limp our way through. And
All the real Alex Thornton phone number. You can always arrange a date. A day will kick around.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's got a reason to call me now.
Hi, Alex. How you doing?
I just see Smalls at the bottom of the well with Calloway peering down going, it reads the Latin or it gets the hose again.
Oh my God. No, I'm so glad you're not the game master, dude.
Oh, don't worry about it. No.
All right, guys. I got to go. Thanks very much.
It was a lot of fun.
All right.
Fun. Thank you.
See you soon.
thanks, everybody.
See you guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.